Welcome to the Spent the Rent podcast. I am your host, Patty Rose. My guest today is a dear friend of the podcast, as you may know from the Two Pats in a Pod series. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're joined by Patrick Miller, the founder of a new website, shoplocal541.com. Pat, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. Nice to be here. The first thing I'm going to say is, in this downtime, what's the first thing I really need? A haircut. But my favorite barber, not cutting yet. So
yeah, that's how we know each other. And I met you from cutting your hair. Gosh, it's been like 10 or 12 years now.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of different things. This is an exciting thing that we're going to be rolling out, a new partnership with the podcast and your new website, which I think the website's going to be a real hit in this area, and it comes at an interesting time, but I think there's a need for it. So this is cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting. The thing is that it's funny. The universe has this weird way of like opening doors and shoving you through them, whether you want to go or not. The way this all came about is that I had talked about doing something like this for quite a while. As you know, I'm semi-retired, in this emphasis on semi there, but my previous incarnation was 20 years of doing broadcast internet services for radio stations around the United States, 140 markets at one point. The deal is that I kept a whole bunch of the server space, and I kept the programming, I kept some stuff. And so it was like, oh, maybe I can use this for something else. It's cool. Well, I also joined Southtown Rotary back in it's been 3 years now, 2017. And these are such active, amazing people that I joined originally to kind of help them with help me, I should say, have them help me with my nonprofit that we do for the small rural school in Uganda. And we've talked about that on a couple other podcasts, but we don't have to go into that right now. At any point, what I do is I help do the fundraising for the group. And this year we had a gigantic auction dinner planned, which got disappeared. So the very first thing I did was I thought, let's try and put some of this stuff up online, see if we can sell it online. And we're still doing that. We're gathering stuff, pivoting some things. Some of the stuff we obviously can't sell because it doesn't exist right now. But then it occurred to me, whoa, wait a minute, these businesses are hurting out here. Let's do something to actually help local businesses. Let's do something that helps the local restaurant scene, et cetera. And so we started percolating at that point, and Shop Local really took off, in real physical terms about 9 days ago, where we started really putting it together.
Yeah, this has been something that you had been talking about doing, but then obviously, plans changed and evolved. This is really making people innovate the way that they go about business, doing it all online. So let's just get right to it. Tell us what Shop Local 541 is. It's a brand new URL, brand new website. It's literally dropping as we speak. So tell us about it.
Yeah. So basically, what it is a way to marry all of the generous donations that businesses already do for all of these different types of organizations, but now it's a way to really give back to them. It's in clear terms, the interesting thing about Eugene is that for probably 10 years now, the kind of going way that people raise money for a nonprofit is to have a big dinner auction type thing. There's like 100 of these things now in the Eugene area every year. That's a lot of auctions. Well, sure. in each one of these situations, you have all of these donors, businesses that donate goods and services and certificates and everything else, but they generally don't get anything out of it outside of a mention in the program or something at that point. This is a way to actually give them a full-blown business directory with couponing and all kinds of other aspects that we brought to the table as a way of saying thank you. And then because we're doing certificates, it's a way to get people to come into the building, come into their business and support them, and they may get other things while they're there. But the quid pro quo basically for the listener, user, viewer in this case, is that we're discounting everything in a buy it now situation, at least 25% off the regular retail price. So in essence, anything you buy, the money goes directly into the work that is being done by Southtown Rotary. 100% of all of the revenue goes into the work that we do at Southtown Rotary. There's 28 different projects that we do that have to do with homelessness, hunger, all these different kinds of things, food boxes, international projects, all these things that we're doing ongoing that we need funding for. And so that money goes directly into the kitty.
Oh, that's cool. I know the Springfield Rotary does the dog park, which means a lot to me. So,
Oh, you froze.
oh yeah, we're back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, technical difficulties. We're good.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's cool. And then, you had mentioned some charity or social services, but there's also a tie-in with that, and you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, so the tie-in basically comes down to the way we actually promote the social services themselves. There's so many of these organizations that are out there. Actually, in Lane County alone, there's 3,500 nonprofits in that 541 area code. We are focusing, at least at this point, primarily on those that deal with youth services, hunger, homelessness, these kinds of things, or I guess shelter care is the proper term these days. But things that are immediately being needed as we speak because of the current conditions. It's just getting worse, and the need is absolutely through the roof at this point. We do food boxes. We do lots of work with St. Vincent de Paul. We do, it goes on and on and on. And there's lots of links on the website to get you back to show you what we do, so you feel good about where those dollars go.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. And I think that you were lucky to lock up that URL, Shop Local 541. I mean, it's easy. It's something that pops into your head and you're not going to forget it. I don't know how many back rubs you had to give for that one, but so no, but this is really exciting. I've been watching, now it's official. You're making an announcement that it exists. I've been clicking on it. I've been clicking on it here and there throughout the last weekend and even last week and watching it kind of evolve. The website on Chrome on your laptop looks beautiful. The mobile stuff, it'll keep improving, and that's the thing. It's going to keep evolving, but it's ready to launch, and it's ready for people to see and to for businesses to sign up. And it's pretty streamlined. It's pretty easy for people to understand. So what kind of businesses are you targeting?
Well, here's the reality. Every business right now is hurt. And because I already own the server space and I own the programming, I don't have to spend a bunch of money to have this stuff created from scratch. So what I'm doing right now is I'll give any business that wants a basic, quick and dirty link to their business and some basic information. I'll give any business that wants one a free listing for the next 90 days, period.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. That makes it sound like I charge money. I don't. Here's the way it works, is that if you're a business and you donate at least $200 in goods, services, whatever it is, a gift certificate, whatever it is, you get a free listing for the entire year, including coupon and everything else. I want this to generate income for the projects. I want this money to go right directly into working and helping Lane County and the 541 area code. So there's no charge at all. There's no transaction. There's no financial transaction for any of the services that are there for the listing. It's really a way for me to say thank you for being so generous. And there are some amazing businesses out there right now that have continued to support us. And so over the course of the next 2 weeks, you're going to see a lot more of those going up. I had to jam up stuff that I knew I could get done quickly over the last 24 hours. But there are tons and tons of generous businesses out there that are really needing some help and support from you guys at this point. But I'm willing to do it. I mean, like I said, there's no charge at this point. Anything that we do that's ancillary services like marketing or advertising services, that's outside the box. This is strictly a directory that gives back and allows people to basically get a great deal and do good in the community at the same time.
Right. So just so that people are understanding, if you're listening to this or you're watching this and you're a business owner, what you would do is you would contact Shop Local 541, and
Yep.
then you would say that you're interested. And then, so we'll use a barber shop as an example. Okay. So a barber shop then offers $200 worth of gift certificates. So there's an X amount. So if haircut's $20, then that way per year, people can only download 10 from there. Correct?
Yeah, basically, there's a lot of different ways to make that work. I mean, I'm going to give you the listing for free. Basically, you're going to get a listing. If you donate $200 worth of certificates, and each one's $20, I can limit how many of those are sold so it hits that $200 range. So to answer your question, yes. Up on top of that, during the entire rest of the year, I will offer out regular couponing that just says, hey, we have a sale going on this week, or here's something else you want to do. That's after we return to normal,
Sure,
so,
sure.
and there's no charge for that as well. That's part of the system. The reason I did this is that we were doing this with our radio clients for the last 20 years to help the local communities. And general media, I'm going to probably make some people upset here, but general media has atrophied so greatly in the last 15 years. Gannett just laid off a gazillion people. All the different news agencies are shutting down. I mean, there's different things that are happening, and less and less and less opportunities are there for local business to get the word out about what they're doing. They can do social media, they can do Facebook, and I'll point out to this as well. All of the promotion we do for the site actually benefits the clients or the businesses, because we're going to be doing social media marketing through Facebook and other kinds of resources to help promote the site and help promote the businesses.
Yeah, and that's why this partnership for me was something that I saw as an opportunity. Not only are we good friends, and so when you came to me talking about teaming up with the podcast and doing a partnership, it was awesome. And anytime, and I wanted to take a quick second and mention some sponsors of mine.
Please.
I've got an exciting new sponsor. As always, my title sponsor for the Spent the Rent podcast is Oregon Cash Flow Pro. And I talk about him a lot, OregonCashFlowPro.com, James Barber giving free money management advice. We want to announce a new partnership with Hewlett Artistry, HewlettArtistry.com for photography and for cinematography. He's a filmmaker, which, I'm sure that there's documentary films that could be made right now. So if you've got a vision, he's somebody that you can contact, HewlettArtistry.com. And then 45 Degrees Northwest, which is a hunting community. And unfortunately, right now, we don't know what the hunting season and all that stuff will look like, but that's a good place to go for updates and for like-minded people while you're stuck in 45 Degrees Northwest. So it's 45degreesnw.com. All of my sponsors, including Shop Local 541, you can go to my website, strpod.com/sponsors. And there's a link for each icon of each sponsor. You click on that and it directs you to their website. So I really encourage everybody to do that. Also, individual sponsors, if you're listening to the show and you really enjoy it, you can make a small one-time or monthly donation to the podcast, which helps me to do these episodes. All of my guests come on the show for free, but then the sponsors drive it and allow it to, to continue. So, this is really exciting. I was honored when you had reached out to me and said that you wanted to be involved. And it's funny because you gave me a bunch of crap because I had just started a Facebook page called the 541 community.
Right.
And that's going to be working side by side with this as well. The 541 community, what it is the Facebook page is a online bulletin board. And we don't stop people from posting a lot on there because I want it to be genuinely open to everybody. And that's nonprofit completely. There's not nonprofit. That's a different distinction.
Unprofit.
There's no money stream in that. It's literally to allow people to promote their events and all that stuff. And so you kind of have to dig through a bunch of stuff, but it's great. So that's we're both doing it at the same time with different visions with the 541. And so the 541 community and then shoplocal541.com popped up around the same time. And because mine had no revenue stream, it was quicker to get out. But, so yeah, in the show notes of this, there's going to be a link, obviously, to Shop Local 541. I'm pretty sure you can spell that on Google. It's pretty simple, but it'll be in the show notes. And I'm really impressed with what you've been doing with this. And this is going to be a big opportunity. Now, you had mentioned coupons, and each week there is a different promotion. So what is the promotion? I think you already mentioned it, because the Rotary, is that the promotion for this first week?
No, basically the way we're working, coupons, and there's two different worlds going on here. First of all, we're going to do different featured businesses that have anybody that brings in a new deal or discount or offer basically will become a featured business for that time period. And so the featured businesses get a little bit more coverage, they get more space on the site, etc. Those are going to rotate on a regular basis. The couponing I'm talking about is actually built onto the directory. So let me explain the hierarchy of this thing, because it's a little complicated, but simple. When you're clicking buttons, it's really simple. From my side, it's complicated. So basically the way it works is if you go to shoplocal541.com, you're going to see all of the nav and all the different offers and all the different things that happen. The business directory, the actual the expanded directory that's going to have all sorts of people, all sorts of social service agencies, all businesses, all whatever, they're divided into different categories. It's shop local, play local, give local, and eat and drink local. So we're dividing them up so you can find what you want a lot easier. Those actually go off onto my existing website, our existing back end that's called Ask for Direct. So when people see that, the URL changes, but all of that information is there, and there's links back, and there's actually a link to your podcast on there now.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Everyone needs to utilize that link.
And then on top of that, because we are selling these products and we needed a secure platform, we already had everything set up for the Speakeasy, which is what our event was. It was the Southtown Speakeasy was going to be on the 18th of April. So we already had all this back end set up to do secure shopping. So when you go to buy something, when you actually go to get one of these deals, and we already just had somebody buy something this morning, you're going to be redirected to the Southtown Speakeasy site. And that is basically just a click and go. You're going to go in, you're going to sign up, we'll get the information, and we'll get you your product, your certificate. But in essence, at that point, you can also poke around on that site and look at some of the things that we do at Southtown. So it's it's a three-prong attack, all utilized and housed underneath the shoplocal541.com housing, as
umbrella. Yeah,
umbrella,
it's funny you say a speakeasy, because it is the 20s now. So I saw this post that this girl had made that cracked me up. It said, "Roaring 20s, how about boring 20s?"
Yeah, of course, the big difference between then and now is that they have deemed alcohol stores as essential businesses. So that's a little bit different.
I noticed that the O-Bar, gonna give a plug to the O-Bar, but I noticed that the O-Bar was selling alcohol to go, or beer probably to go, just bottles and whatnot. And bars have always done that. I know that because when I was 14 years old, I used to buy beer at Sonny's Tavern in Springfield.
Well, the deal is that, as I understand it, is that they've opened up curbside pickup, so you can order something from a lot of these different places and pick it up at the curb. Now, my daughter, who lives in California, they actually have home delivery cocktails, which is insane to me, particularly because they're also, deeming gun stores essential. So this movie, but anyway.
It's a crazy thing. And it's interesting with the podcast how you can see the timeline evolve of the shutdown, the coronavirus. We had you on, and we were lighthearted, but we were talking about, we knew in the back of our minds that this could get crazy, but we had no idea that we would be where we are today, because that was like 6 weeks ago. that we had you on. If
It
it's
was
been
right after Super Tuesday, believe it or not.
yeah. And I mean, it just seems like the month of March was like, 90 days long, at least. So
This last week feels like 90 days to me,
yeah,
because I've been popping. I mean, ironically, everybody's saying how bored they are. I've been popping 12 to 14-hour days the entire time, because so many of our clients are pivoting and having to do something. And then we're having to take this entire fundraiser that last year raised almost $60,000 to now do it online. And it's like, oh, okay, well,
yeah,
nothing, no problem there. So,
sure. I mean, the good things is you don't have to wear pants, but
you know what? You know what? I'm going to share with you. This is the beauty thing I love of Zoom. So I've got on my nice rotary shirt here and the whole bit, right? That's right. I'm wearing sweats. I don't care. I have no pride.
I'm glad you came from the back. I was worried about where that was going to go. So I know you probably don't want to tie the two together because they're separate, but you do your cranky old guy log, and and I encourage anybody listening. These are separate entities. That's more for fun. The Shop Local is for business. Shop Local 541 is business, but the cranky old guy has been rolling out some videos for DIY construction of masks and bidets. And they're fun, and I noticed you've gotten some flack for some of them because you're being lighthearted, but I encourage the lightheartedness as much as we can. We need to have some sense of normalcy and some sense of joy in our life still, because we're going to go crazy being shut in like this. Now, these online face-to-face encounters are basically the only social interaction I'm getting, and it's been very fulfilling. And I want to give a shout out to my guests who have done this. Joey Helpish is the one that has inspired me to really launch this. He's doing something that I want to mention called the Ish, and it's an online venue. So he's going to be doing live concerts where each performer becomes an admin of the Facebook page, takes over the page for however long, for 2 hours, and then hosts live video themselves. So one venue. I think this is really innovative. Wow. Yeah. So this is really innovative. And so if you're listening to this or you're watching this video and you don't follow Joey Helpish on Facebook, you're doing yourself an injustice. So Joey Helpish, go follow his stuff. He's incredible and very innovative the way that he's using the internet. Now, he jokes a lot. He says that he's been living on the internet. His residence has been on the internet for like the last few years, and that everybody now is gentrifying his neighborhood.
That's nice.
It's pretty good.
So the only adjustment we've had to make, of course, is that I've been working from home since 2009, and I have a very specific pattern and everything else. My wife, bless her heart, is a 4J teacher, and they are going through and counselor, and
I can't imagine.
Oh, they're going through crazy right now, trying to figure out how to get everything up online and deal with.
So we're back, had a little technical difficulties, and so as is the internet sphere. So we're back. We're going to wrap this up, but you were talking about your wife. I love the background, first of all.
Well, it's the whole thing is that, just in full disclosure, it's the zombie apocalypse apparently, because my computer just shut down as soon as I started talking about Cranky Old Guy. So that it's, so it's crankyoldguy.com is my alter ego. This screen background is actually from The Simpsons, which is where this whole thing started. It's too convoluted to talk about.
I definitely encourage anybody that's listening to listen to my first episode with you, Two Pats in a Pod. We talk about all of that and all the work you do in Uganda. I wanted to have you finish your thought though, because you were talking about your wife as a teacher and the amount of the incredible amount of work that is done. Now, in my house, I have a stepson that is a senior in high school. Mm-hmm. And so my girlfriend, his mom, is having to do email exchanges with the teacher, and they have 100 students each at least,
Right.
And so
no, it's insane. What 4J is doing, to their credit, is that they're getting iPads out to every student in the 4J district, which is insane. On its own. The problem, of course, there's some access issues. There's some other kinds of things with each individual student. But then the teachers are having to create their individual lessons for each day. They monitor them. They're using a variety of things. There's a whole bunch of amazing tools out there that they're using. And so in my wife's total defense and really my admiration for her, she is like in a, some kind of a master's thesis class of figuring out how to use a whole bunch of platforms she's never used before. And she's doing great. She's killing it. So, kudos to the teachers and the administrators and everybody else that's trying to make this thing work.
Yeah. And then the healthcare workers, oh my gosh. I mean, it's insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
The grocery store workers. I mean, grocery store workers and people that are out there really on the front lines. We have, in a serious note, we have family that's being touched, personally. Thank goodness everybody's fine. But I have one daughter who works, as you know, for CBS News in New York, who that building is shut down. They broadcast from the Colbert Report there at the Ed Sullivan Theater now, and everybody's wearing gloves and masks, and it's crazy. I have another one in Sacramento who likely had coronavirus but couldn't get tested, but she's fine. She's doing well. And then the scariest one is that my youngest daughter's boyfriend is, and live-in boyfriend, soon to be fiance, damn it. Anyway.
That's your boomer coming out right there. You're like, why didn't you get married before you moved in?
No, that's cranky old guy. Anyway, no, he's working in a triage tent at the VA in Portland. He's a critical care nurse. And so he's seeing it firsthand and he's surrounded by it. And it's serious stuff. I mean, I initially, as people, if they follow my Facebook page, and by the way, there is a Facebook page that will go live right after this meeting for shoplocal.com. But at any rate,
shoplocal541.com.
Yeah, shoplocal541.com. At any rate, there was a couple of conversations in the beginning of this where I kept saying, hey, look, it's not as bad as it seems. Everything's fine. Everybody needs to stay positive. And I got pilloried for it, which is now understandable.
I'm glad you're eating crow, because I was definitely one of those people that was like, no, it took me really, I made some jokes. You and I made some jokes on the podcast. And then I was like, no, dude, because once we shut down the barbershop, we were very proactive. We did it before. Whoa, look at that. we did it before, but anyway, we got to get out of here because I'm trying to keep these episodes at about 30 minutes. And so,
sounds good.
Pat, thank you so much for everything you do. Everybody listening and watching this, shoplocal541.com. The link is in the show notes. We're going to end it with the song that you actually helped mix. This one I think was the most minimal, but still, this is a song off my most recent EP, Patty Rose from the Dead. This song is called Ocean Waves. Well, thanks a lot. Take care.
All right, man. Thank you.
Ocean waves, they come crashing after. Ocean waves, they come crashing after you. Ocean waves, they come crashing after. Ocean waves, they come crashing after you. Ocean waves, they come crashing after. Ocean waves, they come crashing after you. Ocean waves, they come crashing after. Ocean waves, they come crashing after you. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. The sea, it sees the face. The sea, it sees the face you save. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. The sea, it sees the face. The sea, it sees the face you save. Tide times reverse, curse your creative chances. On the shore or ocean floor, your heart dances. The tide times reverse, curse your creative chances. On the shore or ocean floor, your heart dances. Sink or swim, just give in to the current flow. Lose yourself in the drift and the undertow. Sink or swim, just give in to the current flow. Go under, wonder how far you will go. Ocean waves, they come crashing after. Ocean waves, they come crashing after you. Ocean waves, they come crashing after. Ocean waves, they come crashing after you. Ocean waves, they come crashing after. Ocean waves, they come crashing after you. Ocean waves, they come crashing after. Ocean waves, they come crashing after you. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. The sea, it sees the face. The sea, it sees the face you save. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. The sea, it sees the face. The sea, it sees the face you save. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. The sea, it sees the face. The sea, it sees the face you save. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. Don't turn your back on the ocean waves. The sea, it sees the face. The sea, it sees the face you save.